All right, I'm here with Kevin Kasten of Attitash, the head snowmaker. Kevin, smile. There we go, that's nice. Kevin's going to walk us through an SMI PoleCat. And
SMI Super PoleCat.
Super PoleCat, and show us how this thing works and why it's so much different than most of what's out there. So, just a little quick background on Kevin as we walk over here. Kevin's been with Peak Resorts since '83 as a snowmaker. He started in Missouri, where, obviously snowmaking is a little more difficult than it is here. Went to Kansas City, has done snowmaking in Australia. He's been all over the place, and we've been lucky enough to have him land here at Attitash. So a lot of experience with fan guns the entire time. So Kevin, take it away.
This is the main part of our electrical. This is a 60 amp breaker box. The gun gets hooked up to. Just flip off and on switch. We've got power. That's a 480. It runs off a 3-phase.
Yeah, 480 volts.
480 volts,
I'm going to do my best to not get hit by that.
Yeah.
Thanks anyway.
Yeah, not a problem. One of our first things that we do when we come up to a gun, turn our power on. We turn on our manifold heat just to kind of let the gun start warming up, and also our compressor. Okay. As we're letting the compressor warm up.
So that's the compressor down there?
9-force compressor, hydromain compressor.
That's a really small compressor compared to the big compressors you run for the traditional guns.
That's correct.
Great.
We're only pulling 40 CFM out of this compressor.
Okay.
For some of our big compressors for the traditional guns are 5,000 CFM plus.
Wow. Okay. Wonderful.
So we're letting everything warm up. Get our hose hooked up.
Nice. Now these, before we get around there, Kevin, these little valve or the ball cocks there,
these are the different banks we can throw as the temperatures get colder and allow us to go.
Okay, so that allows you a lot of flexibility based on temperature and
based on the flexibility of the temperature. We have one here that's called our always on. We have a filter here which runs up to the upper nozzles so the nozzles don't get plugged up. This is our always on, what we call the always on hose. This runs 10 nozzles on the Super at about 30 gallons a minute when we first fire the gun up. This also runs to the nuke, which the nucleator is the heart of these fan guns. It's where the air and water mix on these guns, throw tiny frozen particles into the outer, larger nozzle particles.
Can you show me that nuke?
Sure.
Okay.
Nuke's right in the center of the barrel.
Okay, let me get around here.
Right in the center.
All right. Now let's see if we get this thing into telephoto and get up in there. So, you're saying the nuke is that the metal pipe that goes right up and down vertically?
That's correct. The air comes in the top of the fan gun, and the water comes in the bottom. There's a pressure regulator on the bottom of the fan gun that drops the pressure down to somewhere around between 18 and 22 pounds of water pressure.
Okay.
And we can regulate that. If we get colder temperatures and we need some more water in the nuke, we can add a little bit more water pressure to that, so we have a little bit more frozen particles.
And what does the nuke do?
The nuke feeds the outside nozzles with tiny frozen particles.
Okay, so you're saying that the nuke produces a nucleus or a small particle that's frozen.
A particle that's frozen, and the outside nozzles are giving a larger particle water droplet. The nuke allows frozen particles and the water droplet to freeze around the frozen particles. The larger water droplet.
Got it. Okay. So that by the time that particle hits that water, you get a frozen particle that is almost like creating almost like a tiny hail zone.
Even smaller than that.
Yeah, much smaller, obviously. Okay.
It throws out like a slush. We wanted like a slushy consistency.
Yep.
The slushier it is, the more frozen particles that are in that.
Okay.
So when the fan hits it and hits that outside nozzle ring, there's enough frozen particles for those larger nozzles to freeze around.
Okay, great. So now this is something that we can fire up and actually see how this thing works?
Yes, we can. Do that.
All right. So let's see. Let's see what the man. Let's see what the man behind the screen is doing. We're back to the land of Oz.
Check our air to make sure we have air coming in.
I don't know if you can hear that, but that hiss was Kevin just checking the air and making sure there's air blowing through there, so that when he turns the water on, they get the mix they're looking for.
We're gonna start our fan.
Okay. So there again, starting the fan up. Holy smokes! This thing sounds serious. I think I want to get out of range before this thing takes off. You know, Kevin, it makes me think of the last time I was on a 747. Okay, Kevin's just fired this thing up and it's shooting out water droplets. You can see one, it looks like one bank is going. You can see 3 at a time on the edge. I'm going to try and get underneath and you can actually see the nucleator. Oh yeah, you can. Hang on. All right. Okay, you can see the nucleator putting out a very fine stream. Let that come into focus. And then as it comes farther out, it's getting hit by those larger jets coming in from the side. So right now you're running this on what? 1 bank or 2 banks?
Are always on. This is our first bank that comes on with the nuke. This is the bank for marginal condition where we can start off in the marginal condition. These fan guns are very, very good for marginal condition.
Yeah, that's the thing it's based on. The thing that's fascinating to me is for anybody who's been skiing and has come in underneath a traditional gun, you know, you turn into a popsicle in about 3 seconds getting near those things because they're firing everything down near ground level. Right. And I'm standing, well, let's see if I can give you an idea. I'm standing all of about, maybe, where are my shoes? There they are. It's maybe 15 or 20 feet at the most from this thing, and everything is going way over the top of me. I don't know, let's see, I'm going to try and go up over the top so you can see. Up and over. And I'm going to swing it around the other way. And I can, boy, it's awfully hard to show, but to come down here, there's just, there we go. You see the snow is blowing out there all the way across the middle of the, it's a wide trail. And you can see it's like being in the middle of a snowstorm out there. And yet here I am right next to it. Look underneath me, across. And there's just nothing there. So it's clear that, I mean, that, correct me if I'm wrong, but that height, being able to blow it up to that height, gives you not only more coverage of the trails, but just so much more chance for it to dry out, and produce snow that has nice quality as opposed to just quantity. Wow, that's impressive.
Now it's time to go out and check our snow quality.
Our what?
Our snow quality.
All right, now we're headed across. That's where I started to get hit from behind with this stuff. Okay.
As you can see, even this close to the gun, we have a lot of snow bounce and it's very dry.
I don't know,
this is 30 gallons a minute coming out of this gun, and it's just a very small portion that's landing on my sleeve, as you can tell throughout the rest of this.
I feel like I'm standing in a major snowstorm, and just hold still there. Drop that arm back down, Kevin. Drop it down like this so I can, and I'm just going to hit your arm like this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sort of hard to show. Let me try and get a good spot there. It just falls right off. And again, traditional snowmaking, once that stuff hits you, it's on you for a long time to come. Hey Kevin, I'm going to have to shut off now, but thank you so much, appreciate it, and we'll talk more later.
You bet.
All right.